Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Conversations with a Digital Strategist. How y'all doing? I'm okay. Thank you for asking. I'm Jess. I am your neighborhood digital strategist, and this is my podcast. So, welcome to the week. Y'all having a good week? Because I am having a week. I am having a good week. We're not going to think negatively. We are going to be positive, right? Positivity is the key. Okay. So this week, I am going to do a story time. And I almost said something that really irritates me on social media right now, but I'm going to stop myself because I am not demure. I am not mindful. I am just going to give you a story time. You know me? I'm going to give it to you just the way I do. Okay. So, a while ago, caveats before I do this. I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to name the company. But, well, I'll get to that in a second. But this will be a very interesting experiment for you. I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to name the company. I'm not even going to state the person's gender. Okay, so I'm just going to say use they, them, and I'm going to give a couple people some code names. But otherwise, I don't want you to know exactly who I'm talking about. Although I'm going to be honest, I don't know that it's going to matter. Anyway, picture it, Sicily, 1950. If you don't know that reference, you may be too young to be listening to this podcast. Just saying, that was a great show. Y'all miss that show? I miss that show. And I don't even think they could do a reboot of the show. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say the show's name because I want all the young people to be like, oh my God, I don't know what she's talking about. But those of us that are those elder millennials and Gen Xers, y'all know what I'm talking about. Picture it, Sicily, 1950. For a while, I have been following this person, okay? And we're going to call this person Pat. Again, if you're of the older generation, you know what I'm talking about. So we're going to call this person Pat. And Pat was amazing, okay? Pat knew everything there was to know about YouTube. And they would create these videos. And this was way back in the day when creating YouTube videos that wasn't a normal thing. Okay. So they would tell you how they grew their channel and how, to do this with your camera and where to sit and lighting. And they also talked about how to get people to pay attention to your videos, and they just provided all of this great information that was not out there. Today, that information is readily out there. Lots of people are doing it. It's not a big deal. But back in the day, there were only a handful of people that were providing that type of information, and this person was one of them. Again, y'all know I got my notes down here because I don't want to miss a detail. So I was really impressed by their account and how quickly they had grown their account. And so they came out one day and were like, oh, I'm going to be doing a online course. And I'm like, cool. They said, I'm going to show you how to get your YouTube channel up and running. And I'm like, awesome. So it was just a few dollars. It wasn't a whole lot of money. So I went on and purchased it. I had no money back then anyway, so no big deal. I went on and purchased it, and I went through the modules. They were okay. Some of the information I already knew, mainly because the person had kind of already told us in their YouTube channel. So they were kind of repurposing a little bit of their YouTube content over to this course. But there were a few extra modules that provided information I didn't know. So I felt like some of this I know, some of it I don't. For the price, this was okay. So I went through it and I followed the instructions, and some things I did, some things didn't pertain to the type of YouTube channel I was trying to create. So I didn't do them. Whatever. Long story short, my YouTube channel didn't grow. My YouTube channel didn't grow not because of the content from the course, but because I was not consistent. Okay. I told you previously, consistency is key. Consistency is key. And if you're not consistent, you're not going to grow. So, the course was around that person's success on YouTube, which leads me to my first lesson. Just because you've had success in something, you have had success in something, and you have had success one, maybe two times, does not mean that you should go create an online course, or that you should coach people into doing it, or you should walk anybody through anything. And I know how that sounds, because that's really very common for people that they're like, oh, I lost 50 pounds. And so I'm going to start showing people how I did it. If you want to talk about how you did it, cool. If you want people to pay you thousands of dollars to do what you did, no, because you've done it once. Now, if you've done it one time with you, and then you worked with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 other people, and you were able to get the exact same response from them, or the exact same results for them, then yes, put your shingle up, show people how to do it. Absolutely. But one time, no. So that's my first lesson, is that if you're working on something and you're like, I did X, Y, and Z, and I want to show people how to do it, I would recommend you get some experience working with other people under your belt beforehand. Now, this doesn't mean you have to put out your shingle. For example, me, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've had a job for 20 years. Okay, so it's not like I've been out there, had my shingle up, and I've been, doing things for people for 20 years. No, 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 no. I had a job, but I did it for a major Fortune 100 company. I did it for a nonprofit. I did it for, a municipality, a local municipality. I've done it for smaller agencies. I've done it for large companies. I've been able to do this. So I know what works, okay? It's not like, oh, I had a blog, and I was able to increase all of my, get people to come to my blog, and so I'm going to start teaching everybody how to do that. That's not the same thing. So that's what I'm trying to get you guys to avoid, is get some experience and some girth underneath you before you start charging people, and definitely before you start charging a ton of money. But we'll get to that. So, like I said, when I got in the course, I was greeted with a ton of modules and videos that talked about how to plan out your content, how to record your content, how to do all the things. And some of the information was really good. Some of it was, I did what I did. It didn't do anything for me. Like I said, my fault, not theirs. Moving on. So fast forward to a couple of years, and I found that Pat was sunsetting that course. So I got an email that said that they were going to stop selling that course, and they were coming out with a program. And I was like, oh, a program? What kind of program? And so this program was supposed to help people who wanted to create an online course or some type of online program of their own. And you had to fill out this form and contact them, and they would reach out to you and talk to you about this new program. Fill out a form. Wow. I say that because anytime a guru asks you to fill out a form, you need to know up front that you're about to come out of pocket. Okay, this is not going to be a little $100 piece of something. So you're getting ready to invest, not just pay. You're investing. Okay. And I was okay with that because, again, like I said, I was super impressed by this person's what all that they've been able to do. So I was like, okay, I'll fill out the form. Let's see what happens. So on the form, as I'm filling it out, it's asking all these different questions, but it keeps implying that I may not be accepted into this program. You know, if you are accepted into the program, if you are accepted into the program. Okay. Drawing off FOMO, interesting tactic. Okay. No problem. Fill out the form. And about 10 minutes later, I get an email that says, you've been accepted to meet with us. We will meet with you. Okay. So this brings me to lesson 2. There are literally 8 billion people on the planet. You do not need to play mind games with people, but just everybody says you need to do FOMO, and you need to let people know that this is limited and make them feel. That's the key word. Make them feel. Don't make them feel any kind of way. Impress them with the fact that your content and your product is dynamic and you are amazing. You don't con them by saying, ooh, I might not let you in. Who are you? Like, seriously. Moving on. So like I said, within about 10 minutes, I got, of submitting this form, I got a response that said, okay, we're going to meet with you. And I said, okay, yay. So I met with not Pat, but one of Pat's people. Okay. So one of their teammates. Cool. And this person asked me a ton of different questions about what type of program I was interested in. This is very key. So I want you to remember this. They asked me, what type of program are you in? What type of things do you want to teach? What type of information do you want to share? How do you want to build what do you want to build this program around? So I gave them all these details. And the person was like, okay, wonderful. We think you'd be a great fit. Shocker, right? Mm-hmm. Something tells me that, yeah, everybody was a great fit. The funny part is, based on the information in the program, I was not a great fit. And what I wanted to do, not a great fit. And the way this person had structured their program, not a great fit. So, I'm getting ahead of myself. The sales pitch was good. And the YouTuber was super well known. And I really wanted to kick off this new business venture. So I said yes. And I was told you can pay the amount up front now, or you can pay in installments. But if you pay in installments, it's going to be more. Cool. I paid up front. $8,000. I'm going to give you a second so you can pick your jaw up off the ground. $8,000. Even to say it right now, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. But if I had not done this, I would not be able to make this podcast episode for you, and you wouldn't be able to learn from me. So you're welcome. Yay. Growth. This takes me to lesson 3. If you have a high ticket item, I know that a lot of the gurus tell you to get the person to purchase immediately. Be aggressive. Have them purchase while they're on the phone. Do not let them hang up. If you let them hang up, they may not purchase. You need to get them to purchase now, right now. And that's the way it felt on the phone. I don't like that type of selling. Most people don't feel comfortable with that type of selling. And that's normally because it's wrong. Excuse me. If people want to stop and think about it for a second, that's a good thing. They are making a good financial decision, not deciding to purchase from some random person on the phone, providing them an exorbitant amount of money on a whim. If you're asking someone for thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, you don't get to be upset when they say, let me think about it. You don't get to be upset when they say no. It's not your money. They don't owe you. Also, I said it before, there are 8 billion people on the planet. Somebody out there will pay you. See, the problem is a lot of the gurus tell you this because the goal is to open the business, get in, get as much money as humanly possible, and get out before people figure out that you're a fraud. Did I say that out loud? I shouldn't have said that out loud, but I did. If you have something and you are genuine about what you have and you're passionate about it, the people will come. They will see it and they will want to work with you. They will see that you get results. They will see that the things that you've told them for free work. Oh, the things you are telling them in your social media content works. Therefore, their stuff's got to be amazing. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. 90% of this was my fault because that little YouTube course that I took was barely worth what I paid for it. This YouTuber, not that great. But I had to say to myself, this person has gotten these type of results for themselves. Jess, they could possibly be able to do it for you. That's not the case. So, after paying all of this money, I was sent all of the details. I was sent my receipt. I was sent my logins, what to expect, invites to Zooms, and just all this stuff, access to the community, and I jumped right in. I got access to everything. I logged in, and within a few days, I was working my way through the content. I was disappointed from day one. The content was all on Google Docs. The videos were just this person, Pat, in a camera with a Google Doc on the side of them, reading word for word the Google Doc. $8,000. Well, Jessica, everybody's got to start somewhere. Not at $8,000, baby. You better have your stuff together for $8,000. For $8,000, you couldn't get Canva, PowerPoint. Get it together. No, ma'am. We don't do that. I expect a certain level of quality when it comes to $8,000. But I'm not angry. It's a lesson. So here's my 4th lesson for you. As people are going through your content, they are going to do some of the things, other things they may not do. They may not do everything perfectly, okay? And if your program is built on the idea that they must follow every one of your steps to a T perfectly in order to see results, then there's something wrong with your program. And that was the program that I purchased. I was told in all of the videos, if you're not doing this directly as it is stated to a T, you won't see results. I won't see anything at all. Nothing at all. So that doesn't make sense to me. And in my opinion, is false advertising. Not to mention, like I said before, I spoke with the person that was on Pat's team, and that person told me, oh, you're a perfect fit. But when I took my subject matter for my program and tried to retrofit it into the program, it was not a good fit. The program expected you to, it was a better fit for anybody that was doing something in mental, mindfulness, mental health, physical health, feel good type stuff, not necessarily hard skill type stuff. So if you were trying to teach something on, I don't know, the painting, not really. If you were trying to teach something on losing weight, perfect. Healing from trauma, perfect. That kind of stuff, awesome. But, I want to show business owners how to do something. No, that was not going to be a good fit. I should not have been accepted into the program. However, remember, I think everybody was accepted into the program. So, much of the program kind of felt like fluff, and there wasn't a whole lot of substance. And so, that leads me to my fifth and final lesson here. When you're creating your content, when you're creating your program, if the first 2 to 5 lessons of your stuff is fluff, or you feel the need to put mindfulness in it, oh, let's talk about mindset. Let's talk about how you feel about something. That's fluff. People want to let's get to it. If I ask you, how do you, set up your camera? And the first thing you want to talk to me about is, okay, so you need to be in the right mindset for filming. That's not what I want. But a lot of people put that fluff in there because they feel like the content that they have is not good enough or is not enough. If it means that your lessons need to go from 15 lessons down to 8, then it needs to go from 15 lessons down to 8. That's fine. I will pay for meat. I do not want to pay you for a salad and some chips and salsa. I'm not going to pay the same amount for a steak that I would for chips and salsa. See how those two are not equal? Stop giving people chips and salsa and thinking that, oh, they'll pay the price of steak. They won't. So that's essentially the story. I wasted $8,000 on a program that was completely useless, that provided absolutely no value and taught me absolutely nothing. The funny part about it is that although I did not tell you the gender of this person, and although I did not tell you that this person's name or the name of this person's company, whether you're right or wrong, you have an idea. You have a name or a picture in your head, because there are so many of these people out there. Somebody's name popped in your head, whether it's the one I'm talking about or not. The fact that somebody's name popped in your head is the problem. So, while people like me can say, oh, this sucks, I hate it. Okay, cool. But I can learn from it, and then I can take my experience and turn it around into a lesson for you too. All right, that's all I got to say. I'm going to see y'all on the flip side. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. If you want to watch this podcast over on YouTube, you can come over here. We over here chilling. You know what I mean? Follow me, LinkedIn, Instagram, Threads, Smart Business Collective. That's the account. You can head over to the smartbusinesscollective.com, sign up for the newsletter, and I'm going to go ahead and say it. You can do it in a very demure way. Can we be done with that now? I feel like we could be done with that now. Can we put demure to bed now? Okay. Demurely go to bed. All right. Bye-bye.